50 and 50 tour. So that was my first headshot ever. Thank you so much for all the well wishes, and thank you for your kindness. It's hard to believe 27 years has gone by so quickly, and I look forward to many more years with you. So let's talk now about the ribeye. Now this ribeye, I love ribeye. It's one of my favorite cuts. Heavily marbled, full of great flavor, and no one does it like Rastelli with their black Angus ribeye steaks. These are also David size. These are 10 ounces. So if you are someone that has more of a normal appetite, you probably could take one steak and cut it in half and give each, two people 5 ounces each, and that would be plenty for dinner. For me, I can eat the whole 10 ounces. This is amazing. You're going to get all 10 10-ounce black Angus steaks, and we'll ship them directly to your door. You buy them today with a credit card, they will arrive before Christmas, which is more good news. If you decide you want to go with auto delivery, we can ship them every 4 months for 1 year. There truly is a difference when you're talking ribeye. And when you cut into the ribeye, you're talking about something that is super tender, very moist, very juicy. Because of all that great marbling, you're going to come away with something that is really spectacular. Don't miss out on this. Let's welcome in Ray Rastelli, our own personal butcher here at QVC. And Mr. Rastelli, it is always a great pleasure to have you back.
David, it's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations on your 27th year anniversary. You are so important, not just to so many people at home, but to guests like myself who you've kind of just taken and taught us. So thank you so much.
My goodness, I'm flattered, sir. Thank you, and I appreciate and value your friendship so much. Let's talk to everyone about these steaks. Now, Ray, you and I both love a ribeye, so let's talk about the ribeye and talk about why it's so special. And maybe start with that decal up top, because that's always my favorite part to eat first.
Yes, that's the softest part of the ribeye itself, and it's really the most tender piece. But where we start, and what we start with is a prime rib. So when you look at the raw piece of meat, that prime rib is really what is got all that flavor, all that marbling. And of course, we all know the prime rib is going to be the most tender, right, because of that. But then we cut the steak right out of that. This is a 10-ounce steak. As you said, David, it's a David-sized steak. But these have been aged for 28 days. So when you think about the aging process, it's just a natural process that helps the enzymes break down inside that steak. That's why at a great steakhouse, it will always say Black Angus, and it'll always say aged for perfection. So we've given you that same exact steak that goes to that steakhouse, and they're big. As you can see, you mentioned, David, when I cut one in half, I can very easily make a meal for two because they are just so big. So quickly, your 10 turns into 20.
Well, I can tell you right now, we only have about 3,800 of these steaks to go around. And I want you to think right now about the time you're going to be off, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, and how many meals you need to supply your family. Are you ready? Is your freezer stocked? Have you already sat down? Because I'm going to sit down and start planning through what meals I'm going to make, and I'm going to be spending time with friends over the holiday season that have been in my bubble, and we're going to do a lot of potlucks, I'm sure, and then I'll do some meals on my own. I want to make sure my freezer is stocked with all the goodies that I'm looking for. So this is going to be a perfect chance to do that, but we don't have an awful lot of these to go around. The ribeye is one of our best-selling steaks from Rastelli. And it's one of your favorites. It's certainly our favorite. So this is an opportunity for you to pair this up with those St. Clair sides. Pair this up with a gorgeous Caesar salad. Pair this up with, scalloped cheesy potatoes. So good. So any way you want to work with this, they're perfect. And the good thing about this steak is that it's very heavily marbled. So that means you're getting a tremendous flavor in every single bite, Ray.
That is it. It's Black Angus, so we're starting with the very best. It comes from the prime rib, and we take those center cuts to give it to you. And that marbling that you see in there, David, I always refer to it as meat candy because that's what gives you that flavor, right, that beef flavor. It also is what gives you that tenderness and that texture from a steak. So, lots of steaks, some steaks you can do lots of different things with. This is a steak. This is a steak that you want to eat as a steak, whether it's on your grill, whether it's on your broiler, in your skillet, on a George Foreman grill, in your air fryer. It will come out perfect all the time. 125 is about the temperature you want to pull that at to be able to get that medium type temperature, because remember, after you cook it, it's going to still cook for another 8 or 10 minutes. But each one is individually vacuum packed, and I think that's really important. each one, after we cut it, we've got butchers that are trimming this steak and making sure every bit of fat is off the outside. But the inside is where we want that marbling, and that's the meat candy. We cut it, we vacuum package it, we blast freeze it. And that blast freezing, David, seals in all of the flavor inside the steak, but it keeps out the bacteria. So this will be good in your freezer for up to 12 months. You can thaw it out and cook it, or if you get in a pinch like I do, often getting home late, I'll take this and I'll run this package under cold water for about 10 minutes, and then it's nice and pliable and soft and ready to go. You're going to get the seasoning packet as well. And I always like to season my steak once I've got it out at room temperature. So once I pull it out of my refrigerator, I'll season it with the seasoning at room temperature. And look at that. That's what you get when you get a beautiful ribeye steak with the marbling that comes in a black Angus steer.
Ray Rastelli, let's just look at that for a moment and just marvel at I'm sorry if that doesn't make you hungry. Your eyes are closed. Open them up. We'll wait. This is, oh my word, medium. Oh my goodness. And it's juicy and tender. And Ray, everywhere you see juice, you see flavor. Everywhere, all that juice is full of great flavor. It's like a waterfall inside the steak of great, great flavor. I will tell you now, we only have 3,300 now left to go around. These are going very quickly. A lot of you are making your choice now, and why wouldn't you? Because the holidays aren't just around the corner, the holidays are here. We're less than 2 weeks until Christmas. Everybody is excited about having the perfect meal to serve. And whether it is a bit more medium like that last one, this one, a bit more done. Well, actually not here on the end, probably needs to stay on the heat a little longer. But these are beautiful. Take a look at this first one again. I think this one is really, that one is, oh, hello. Hello, gorgeous.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, we've missed you. Where have you been? Where have you been? Yeah. Oh, my goodness, Ray, I'm going to pop these back on the heat, these ones that need to cook just a hair longer. Now, tell us about your seasoning that come with these, Ray, because that seasoning is amazing.
It's really, it's something we've had in the family forever. It's salt, it's some white pepper along with some regular black pepper. We've got a little bit of garlic and a little bit of onion powder in there. So it really tends to give you a flavor. But what I love about the steak, if cooked right, this is what I can do with the steak. When I can take my ribeye steak and I can cut through it with a fork, that means I've got the right ribeye steak. I've got the right temperature. I've got the right marbling, because that marbling is what creates the flavor. And look at the juice. Look at that juice. That's what really makes the steak special when you cut into it, and more importantly, when you bite into it, because that's the flavor that we want you to actually have. And that comes from that ribeye marbling, David.
Hey, can I tell you, Ray, now we have fewer than 3,000 of these to go around. These are individually packaged. So here is a look at that package. That's a generous steak. That's 10 ounces. That's 10 ounces of goodness. You want that marbling in there because that's going to equal all that juicy, delicious, melt in your mouth flavor. And then look at 10 steaks prepared. This is what you're getting, individually wrapped. And we have now fewer than 3,000 to go around. They're going very, very quickly. You cook these to your desired doneness. And look at this one. Oh, hello. Look at this. Please look at this one. Please look at this one. I want you to look. And every bit of that is flavor. You're talking about a steak that is going to make your mouth water. You're looking at it. This is black Angus ribeye, something very special. We've been through a year, haven't we? We have been through it. It has been difficult and anxious and at times overwhelming. And we're almost at the end of this year. Now, we're not out of the woods just because the ball drops at midnight on the 31st of this month. But we're in a better place going into the new year than we were in this year. Why not treat yourself to something like this for the holidays? You and your family certainly deserve it. And you're going to love the kind of quality that only Rastelli Meats brings to your table, to your dinner table. Now, in the freezer, Ray, these will arrive frozen. How long will they last there?
They will last in that freezer for up to 12 months, David. I don't think once you eat the first one, I'm not sure you're gonna let them last that long.
No.
It is that very, very special treat. And when I say special treat, this is my favorite steak. When I go out to dinner with friends, when I used to go out to dinner with friends, they'd always say, Ray, you're the butcher. What are you going to order? it's always the ribeye steak. It's that steak that has the flavor. It's got all them beautiful beefy flavors that come out of it, but it's tender, but it has texture, which is what I really like. So when you take that beautiful steak that's been aged for 28 days, add our seasoning to it, and whether it's an air fryer or a grill or a skillet, it'll come out perfect each and every time. To be able to do this, just take your fork, and that's how I really test that steak before I even put it in my mouth. If I can cut it with a fork, I know I've got a steak that's right for me. And this moisture coming out of a steak is really what makes the steak incredibly special.
Well, hello. I've got more for you here. Now, this one a bit more done, but still every bit as juicy. Sorry about that. Got away from me. Hello. 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 Who's ready for dinner?
That's what you should expect from a great ribeye steak, David.
Oh, my goodness. Is that not beautiful? That is the kind of steak that you want to slide up to the table and enjoy, and you can. We are a phone call away. Need to let you know now that I have fewer than 2,500 of these left to go around. They will be individually packaged, so you only take out what you need as you need it, and then enjoy, but treat yourself and your family to the beautiful ribeye steak. Mr. Rastelli, it is always a great pleasure, sir.
Thank you, David. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
And to you as well and your family, as always. All right, we're going to check in with Mary. Mary's got a little update on something that is yet to come in our show, which I'm told, Mary, is already pretty popular.
Well, you know, the phone lines are getting a little spicy. We've had